Hi everyone, Aryan here. Welcome to this new video tutorial. Today we are going to create this footer section for WordPress by using Bricks Builder, and check the description of this video to know more about it. So let's go on the page. I would name it footer large 01. Select template type. Of course, if you are going to use right away the template, you need to select footer. In my case, I will select section because I'm not using it as a footer, but for the purpose of this tutorial. Then click on publish and then edit with bricks. Section, the first container will have the menu items. We need to count how many columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. So you can make sure you selected the container and then make it display grid. And here template columns. I'm using AutomaticCSS, so in my case I would go right click, but you can also use 1FR, 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 1FR 6 times, and as you can see it makes 6 times, but in my case I'm using AutomaticCSS, so I will click on 6 and I would get my columns. Then the first thing is with the container selected, plus button, and you need to add a block. Open up the container and you will find your block here, and this block could be called menu, or menu block. And then with menu block selected, you could add a new element and choose a heading, and then you can also add a menu by clicking plus and searching for menu, or you can search here nav menu. So as you can see, Bricks automatically takes your WordPress menu. I have a main menu only, but you can create multiple WordPress menu right on the backend by going here on WordPress appearance menus, and you can create multiple menu for each column and just name them as you wish, and you can use them of course here. What we need to do first is to style also the menu. So with the menu selected, okay, we can basically style it, but before doing that I would create a class of the entire thing. So I would go on menu block and I will click on BAM, and I will call it probably footer menu column. Great. So now heading has this footer menu column heading class, and you can click on it and style it. Before doing that, let me get from the design the text. So here you can put your text, style, typography, font size. You can go with an S, for example, and maybe if you want it a little bit bigger, you can make a calculation, parenthesis, and multiply 1.2. Okay, so it's a little bit bigger. And then you click here on the menu, you can click footer menu column class, and now we can edit it by going on content. And first of all, I want to make it vertical, and then we need to remove the spacing and everything. So to do that, let's check the top level and make sure the margin, there is no margin, so on 0. Then you can also change the typography. Let's say I click here and I want a font size that is a little bit smaller. You can do that, or check it, keep it as M. Let's say I want to make it S. Okay, and again I would calculate this with calc parentheses multiply 1.2 and close parentheses, and then we can also add some padding between the elements if you want, or you can change the coloring of the items, or you can keep it as links. But let's say I want to add some more spacing right between all the items. We need to search for the option. Let me find the option. Padding gap. So the gap here, right click and you can choose whatever you want here, and as you can see, it's adding the gap. You can also go with 2em, oh sorry, 1em maybe is too much, so let's go 0.5 em, okay, or 0.4 depending on your, you know, on your liking. And then I will go on footer column. I will click here the class and then go on row gap and right click and just add your row gap. Like in this case I will use XS from AutomaticCSS. And yeah, we done the first one. So if I get to the design, of course you can change, also make them bold or whatever. So let's say I want to make them bold. I can click here, activate the class and search for typography and make it font weight, make it bold, for example. Okay. And then maybe this is too much. Let me make it 600. Okay. And you can also choose a color, a different color if you want, like black, or like the design. Yeah, it's black, and the product in this case then will be gray. So click on the product title, class, style, and typography, and color would be a text color gray. Maybe this is too much. Let me find a neutral color. Okay, like this. And as you can see, you have your gray menu. So you also need to make sure by clicking on the menu and click here on the class that I don't want a mobile menu. Okay, there is mobile landscape, but I will never basically make a mobile menu. I want it always like that, also on mobile. Position left, width. Okay, so everything looks set it up correctly. Perfect. And we can now duplicate this. So you can click here and basically duplicate 5 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So okay, no one. So now we have 6 of those. Of course, if you have different item, you can click here and just go on main menu and select the other menu. So in this tutorial, I did not create multiple menus, but you can do that, and in this way, your client or yourself can manage the menu items from this screen here, okay? By creating a new menu and naming it and then selecting it here. Okay, perfect. So we set it up our first container. I can close this up. And now I need to basically add the other part of the menu, and it's this one. So we have the logo on the left and the text on the right. And to do that is very, very easy. You need to just click on section, plus button, add a new container. So sometimes still I'm having this issue where the container is not added into the section, but you can just click on it and drag it here so that it's inside of the section. With this container selected, you can just tell him to make a grid, like, or you can also use Flexbox. I would go with a grid, I prefer, but you could use also Flexbox. Let me try with a grid and right click. And now we added 2 columns, okay? And then you can, with the container selected, plus button, I would choose block and I would call it block left. And you can also duplicate the block left and call it block right. Again, I have this little bug here, not sure why. The block should be inside of the container. Usually if you have the container selected, it automatically adds into the container, but this time I don't know why. Sometimes it just push it out. Anyway, make sure the structure is like this. So container, block left, and block right. On the block left, click on it, plus button, search for a logo, or you can search for image if you want to add a personalized image instead of using the default logo. Click on the image, select the image, search for your logo. I think I could use this one, like that. And then I would go on the block right, and with the block right selected, you can go on plus button, and here you can actually add a new menu like this one, or you can add 3 items or 3 links as you want. So the menu, we already saw how to add a menu. Let me check the design. What? Oh, there is no menu. There is a text. Okay. So basically we need to use this text. So block right, plus button, and then go on basic text. Nothing happened. Basic text. Okay. Again, we have a bug here, so let me try to push it inside of it. And let me save it and refresh the page, because I think that the bug is caused by that. Anyway, now I refresh the page. I can open up again my container, click on this one, paste it. Okay. So now what we need to do is to make sure the element sticks to one to the left and one to the right. So the block right, you can select it. Okay. And just ask him to stay on the right. So you can go on style. No, sorry, not style, but align self. Nope, not this one, sorry. End. Okay, so align cross axis should be on the end. And for the block left, align cross axis should be at the start. So now we are sure that those sticks there. Another thing we need to do is click on section. And with section selected, we need to add some row gap. Right click. You can choose the row gap you wish. Let's say I'm going with XL. And then on the second container, this one, we can also add a little border between the two elements. Or you can also basically add on the section side, plus button, and not div, the divider. So the divider, drag and drop it here. And as you can see, we have a divider. If you want to make sure the divider stays inside of the containers, you can just right click and wrap it into a container. Okay. And in this way, you have this container that basically contains the div, the divider, sorry, or you can also add a border to this one on the top and add some padding as you wish. Let me show you how to do the second thing. So I can remove this container and just go on style, layout, padding, right click or add your values. You can say L, okay, and then go on border, and on border you can say style solid, and top you can say 1, okay. And then you can add a color, right click and background or text color, whatever you want. Let's say I would go with gray, or you can go on neutral color. You can choose. Let me go on this one. I won't use the background because you may change the background, it change also that border. So try to find like a gray color. We can say this one maybe. And as you can see, now we have the border, and yeah, so it's very, very simple. You can do in different way. So the border here, the gray color is very, very light. So let's say I'm here and the border, you can change it to something a lot lighter. Let's say this text color maybe. And as you can see now, it looks a little bit better. Of course, you can change also the width of it. So if I click 2, as you can see, it's a little bit bolder, let's say. Okay, I will go back to have it very 1 pixel line, and we actually done it. So let's see how it behave on the responsive. So as you can see on the responsive side, now is breaking up, and I will show you how to fix this. So as is 6 columns, we can play around with this. You can keep it on tablet in this way, but I usually prefer to make sure that everything sticks better. So on the tablet version, you can keep the 6 columns, or you can click on the first container and just ask him to have a tree. Okay, but as you can see, there is a lot of spacing between the elements, so it's not really good. So here depends really on how you want to make it look. I would stick with 6 in this case, because you know, if you try to make it 3, this is the problem coming out. This you can use it if you have a lot of text. Anyway, I also noticed that we did not add any spacing between the elements. So let's go back, let's remove this, and let's go on the desktop version. And here, let's add some gap, okay? And we can say L gap, and looks great. If I get here, looks great. And here, of course, is too narrow. So in this case, mobile landscape, I would go with 3 probably. And as you can see now, it looks a lot better. And then on mobile, of course, I would go with 2 probably. So you can click on the container here and just ask him to go with 2. And as you can see now on mobile, it's a lot better. Oh, and I actually forgot this one. Here, you can go on the container here and just say content and 1. Now that it's 1, as you can see, we have this one on the left, this one on the right. And to fix that, you can center everything. Like you can go on the block left and just tell him center axis. And you can go on block right and just tell him to center axis too. And of course, if you click on container, you can also add some row gap by clicking this one, for example, or gap only, right click, and you know, you can go and say S, and yeah, the mobile version now is aligned and centered. Make sure also the text is centered, but I will do this on the desktop version. Oh no, we can also do it on the mobile version actually. You can click on it, typography, and make sure it's centered. And yeah. Okay, so you can play around with this, and as you can see, everything works fine on all the resolutions. This one is fixed. Let's check the design one last time, but I think that we are done. Yeah. Okay, great. So we have made a footer. Of course, you need to fix the footer padding on the top and the bottom. You can click on section, go on style, layout, and here, as you can see, I have some set it up padding. So you can say, okay, I want it like XL, or you can say section. We have also the section spacing. I would use the section spacing in this case. You can copy the first one, paste it here, and as you can see now, we have our correct settings up, and we have our footer here as the design. Okay, so I hope the tutorial was useful, guys, and follow my YouTube channel to know more and to see more videos. Like button, of course, and I see you in the next one. Bye.